So Deribou in the bottom left, and we got Lulu Fufan, aka Ashen, in the top right. I know last time I watched Ashen play PvP, he was doing a lot of proxy bases and stuff like that. I should say buildings, not bases. Deribou loves him a 2 or 3 base all in. That's about all I know to expect. And we get the first gateway at home for Ashen, and the racks at home for Deribou. He takes his first gas with it as well, so pretty normal. Win gas on Ashen's side. We'll see when the second falls, and that will tip us off on some early aggression potentially. Ashen, a respectable Protoss player and not harassing the barracks builder with his probe. And we do get the second gas early from Deribou, just the one from Ashen. He's gonna send the probe. He looked like he was gonna walk away, but he is still here to scout some more. Meanwhile, looks to be saving minerals to take a Nexus maybe. He's got a probe making its way down to the natural on his side of the map. There it goes. So, core was right before the Nexus, sitting on his one gas, so this is a pretty standard macro setup as far as I can tell. Deribou reactor first, and a factory. 2 on one of his gases, 3 on the other, and there that third one fills up in the other gas. Probe still trapped in the main base of Deribou. He will eventually take its life with the first 2 Marines that come out of the reactor barracks, I'm assuming. So we're chronoing out the first Stalker from Ashen, and we're taking the second gas. Just about time to make some units, I guess, and start gassing up to make other units. Let's see, we're actually getting an odd series of units here from Deribou. It looks like he made 1 Marine with the first round off the reactor, and then he opts for a Marine Reaper in the second round. Or the Reaper just took a little longer to finish. That's all that was, actually. Okay, I thought he might have only queued up 1 Marine to start. So this probe will meet its fate, but there's a Stalker here to, just say, hey, I didn't appreciate you picking on my probe, buddy. Meanwhile, Deribou's got the Reaper in the map, or in the base of Ashen. Throws the grenade, denies a little mining time, gets 2 probes. He's gonna get another probe at least. Gets chased off, but yes, he goes back for the one that he weakened, and that is 3 probes with the Reaper. A little scouting information, everything looking pretty normal. Not sure if he saw the Twilight. He did not see the Twilight over there. But we'll see what happens after this. Stalker getting pushed out of the base. I don't think it really got too much done over here other than being annoying, doing a little damage to a depot and a reactor. Meanwhile, Deribou and it seems intent on pushing. He's got a couple of the boys with him. He's got a tank and some Marines. That's literally all he's got, and he's pushing. Unsieged tank taking some damage off the Stalkers. Reaper has lost his life. Just tanks and Marines being produced at home currently from Deribou. And he's going to place the bunker right here in the tank range. Going to go with 2 bunkers. And we've now got a medevac. So this is a super early aggression. The SCV builder, deep bunker builders are just picked off immediately. Not so smooth there. Deribou did appear to be setting up for a little multi-prong attack. We've got another group of Marines coming across the map. We've got our second tank. Appears that it came out on the left side of the factory, so it had to take the long way around. And Deribou, still with 2 Marines. There we go. Okay, he's going to do a drop, I'm pretty sure, with these guys. Try and get into the main base. Ashen standing at the front of his base, wondering if there's going to be another tank push anytime soon. And Deribou kind of taking the scenic route, maybe Maybe gives Ashen a little time to forget about the units that were bothering him a minute ago. So this drop is going to go off right next to the assimilator. And we have only gotten one probe too. Now they're following. We've gotten 3. And medevac picks up, runs away to the back right corner of the map. Meanwhile, we've got a Raven coming up the left side of the map. Probably going to do a little turret drop. And Ashen dropping a lot of gateways. That'll put him up to, he's got 1 in production. He's got 3 done. Actually, he'll be about 7 gates, I think. 6 or 7 is what it'll be. 6, yep. 6 gates and a robo. He's only sitting on the 4 gases now that the other 2 are finishing up. This Raven actually never did anything. Just kind of came over here and maybe was scouting for a 3rd base over here. But it is headed home. Blink coming out of our Twilight. He does have charge as well, by the way. He got that one first. Meanwhile, Deribou just hitting his upgrades, getting the +1 attack, shields, and stim. Making a couple marauders as well at home. And Deribou close to being supply blocked, but there's the depot that he needed. So sitting on a 3-1-1 setup currently with the reactor factory, although he's not getting anything out of it. Ashen's here. He's got a warp prism full of some zealots. Warp prism is seen by the Marines. Meanwhile, a group of zealots, stalkers, and an immortal at the front door of Deribou. Deribou's got a Marine on patrol over here and over to the left as well, although this one seems to be going in for a little look-see. Just trying to know the base count of his opponent. A couple of zealots get warped in and they slice this Marine easily. This Marine also getting curious, just walking into the natural. Hey, brave guy, you know, shooting the zealot, slicing him down. And we've got our Marine drop returning, although the shield battery making it hard for them to get any probes. The medevac's down. The Marine stim, they are not going to be able to kill anything, it doesn't appear. So he got a lot of scouting off of that, but didn't really accomplish anything else. We got the Ravens, some medevacs ahead of the rest of the army. Don't want to let them get too far, as every Terran player has been guilty of. Ashen will have Storm finishing in not too long. And we've got a Zealot going across the map, another one on the right side. Just gonna walk right into Deribou's base, I assume. Deribou's setting up his 3rd command center. Meanwhile, we've got a Warp Prism back in the base of Deribou. He's got the charge lots zooming around, attacking depots, attacking workers, and marauders. The depot, maybe not the biggest enemy in all of this red Deribou stuff here, but that is the one that took the focus. All in all, the 15 SCVs, 17 SCVs, still counting. Good siege up right here from Deribou, but the Storm very strong. And another one goes off as well. I don't know if you can recover from that. But he did do a lot of damage to the Protoss army at the same time. We don't want to lose these tanks. He could have picked them up and walked away with them, but he's going to sacrifice them. We're still getting zealots in the main of Deribou. The Liberator doing the best that it can to clean them all up. There's still one more. These racks were under construction, not going to be able to get finished because of the zealots slicing away their builders. More zealots warping in. And we got Archons and Stalkers chasing the Terran army across the map. Medevacs are back home. 3rd base up on the high ground. We've got a, yeah, I don't know how you can come back from this. Zealot slicing away at the Marauders. Marauders doing the best that they can. Liberator doing the best that it can, but it is about to fall to the Archons. The Terran army on the high ground has this advantage right here, though. 14 more SCVs have fallen. This is an onslaught. Ashen picking up the Archon with, oh, the Warp Prism Micro. Beautiful. 15 more SCVs taken down in that attack. And the worker count about a third of what it is for Deribou, for it is Ashen. Meanwhile, after all that, we're getting the +2 attack, we're getting the +3 shields, I think, actually, so that's interesting. More gates dropping as well from Ashen, so he's powering up. He's on his 4th base. He loves the position that he's gotten himself into this game. Deribou producing Vikings, Medevacs, Marauders, Marines, and a couple SCVs, although it would be very hard for him to come back economically in this game. Viking over here doing a good job getting damage on the Warp Prism, and the Archons are pulled out pretty quickly. 4 more SCVs fall, however. Viking appeared to get the Warp Prism and the 2 Archons that were inside, so that's a good move for Deribou here. Up in 16 army supply, however, the worker is just drastically different. Loads up a couple Marauders, or Widow Mines, I mean, and he's going to go to the other side of the map again. See if he can get back on his own 2 feet. He has fully saturated his main, working on the natural. Only a couple more spots. He's got his gases filled, so the economy about as good as it can be after losing, how many workers has he lost this game? 39. So he would be just a couple behind if he had those 39 workers. He would actually be ahead after the last few popped out. He'd be at 85 currently. But they did suffer a lot of worker loss. So the Widow Mines on the other side of the map did get 5 probes killed. Zealots slicing away at them. Sorry I missed that. So Deribou up to full saturation on his natural, working on that 3rd again. The army of Lulufu just walks back, finds a free medevac coming across the map. I don't think it had any Widow Mines in it. I think they all lost their life in the mineral line. We do have everyone's favorite building, the Dark Shrine. So we'll see if we get some invisible slicey guys coming through and messing everything up. A couple of disruptors queued up as well for Ashen. So we're going to see some balls. Hope that's okay for everybody. And we're getting the ice cream cones as well. That leads me to think we're getting Colossus. Ice cream cones, aka thermal lancing. 5th base for Ashen, placed over here to the right. And the Zealot gets a Marine Scout. Although the Marauders and a couple more Marines not happy of what they heard happened to their buddy. Over on the left side of Deribou's 3rd, we got a couple more Zealots just roaming around, keeping tabs on everything. Same with this one over here. Ashen's got Zealots spread pretty strategically through the map. Meanwhile, 1 Marine on the other side of the base, the other side of the map for Deribou. And he's going to start eliminating these scouters, these scout zealots, trying to, just slowly, strategically work his way back into the game. Stalker gives its life to detect a Widow Mine. Now we've got something going on at the base over here. 1 Marine stemmed, doing the Lord's work, killing all the probes. That 1 Marine by himself, no medevac, no nothing. He was supposed to be a scout. He went rogue and went in for the kill. He got 5 probes. He's a hero. We got probes transferring over to this base. That'd be a nice pickup right now, but unfortunately the army was here with him. That would have been super lucky for Deribou to pick off these, what is it, about 9, 10 probes? Would have been nice. So we got sensor towers. And he should see this Zealot Scout that's been hanging out around. And that Widow Mine does a little bit of team damage. Took out a Marine. Hurt a couple Marauders. So we haven't seen a Colossus yet. Not sure why we got the thermal lancing, but it's there. Because the disruptors are here. He's got about 5 of them. 6 of them, it looks like, in this army right here. So I think we're going to go bowling as the warp prism posts up in the top left of Deribou's main. A couple zealots warped in. The warp prism is going to lose its life to the Viking. However, zealots slicing away sensor towers, slicing away command centers being built for Deribou. We're going to need to cancel on this ASAP. The balls are off, and Deribou just watching them. Good job stepping back from that one. All in all, only 5 SCVs were lost. There is a little more damage happening in the main of Deribou still, but I can't peek over there because we got to keep our eye on the ball, as my T-ball coach taught me. Storm's going in as well. So, I mean, with double the army supply, it's going to take the world's best micro we've ever seen for Deribou not to win this one. Because the Protoss army is just slicing him up. We got balls, we got storms. GG is called. Okay. Alright, Lulu Fu Fan up on the scoreboard, but in the bottom left of Ancient Cistern. This is Ashen with the Born Gosu Squid. Also with the Born Gosu Squid in the top right, his Terran opponent, Deribou. Very standard game, other than the very early push from Deribou last game, but it was a normal build order all along. Opted to go mines later in the game, bio heavy. We will see if he can not lose 39 workers. I imagine he'll be in the game at that point. We get the racks at the back of the base. Wonder if this is just a mind game. We'll see if Ashen decides to be curious and poke around, or if he immediately turns around and shits his pants. Ashen, ever curious of what is going on. He sees the two gases are going to be here, and normally that makes me think Reaper Rush, but people usually don't do a Reaper Rush against Protoss. So, Ashen, did you see? He did not see the racks in the corner of the base. So he might be thinking full on proxy right now. We'll see if the probe catches it on the second swing by. I don't think so though, because it is on a patrol pattern. So one Reaper comes out of the racks with no add-on. We're getting a depot in the wall. Probes walking all across the map for Ashen, trying to figure out what is exactly going on. He does have a natural on his side of the map, by the way. He's got his core coming up, and one gateway. So we do get a factory in the wall. Ashen will pick up on this. Reaper's here. So, you know, honestly, from the way Ashen didn't really react to that, I think he might have seen this before, is my guess. Maybe it's standard for some people to put the racks on this side of Ancient Cistern because it's got such a big fog of war over there to the left. But he didn't really, you know, shit his pants or anything by any means. So, cool, calm, and collected from Ashen on that. He is going to lose a probe. Stalker's here to tell the Reaper to fuck off, however. We get a second probe. Good job by Deribou with the Reaper. He's going to escape as well, it appears. There's a Twilight thrown down right behind the Reaper as it walks out. We've got a probe coming over here to check what's going on. He's going to see the Tech Lab researching something. So, he's either thinking Blue Flame or Mag Accelerator. So, we got the Robo Facility on just the two gates. Or just the one gate, actually. So, yeah. Looks like we're going to get some early observer, maybe, I'm guessing, or an early warp prism. We do have the Twilight for upgrades. The Charge Zealots worked magnificently last game, so wouldn't be surprised to see him back, just like the Reaper is back in the base of Ashen. 4 more probes fall to it, and a grenade just for good measure. It is going to lose its life, though. Good Reaper, though. Two scouting runs, 6 kills. Little mining time denied with grenades. All good and fun. Orbital and Starport finish up. Deribou opts for the Liberator as the first unit to come across with his units. And Charge is not going to be the first thing on the menu today for Ashen. He goes Blink at Ancient Cistern. And we do get that Observer surely to go straight across the map and see what's going on with the Terran army. So a couple Cyclones getting produced. He's already got two. He's working on his third. Along with the Liberator and two more racks fall. So he's on a 3-1-1 setup on two bases. Only the two gases currently, so not going too gas heavy on his units. These Cyclones are going to get spotted by the Observer along with a pack of Marines. So Deribou up to another early little push. The Cyclones got to be careful not to get too close to those Stalkers, because one of them already down to about a quarter of its life. Ashen taking a third base. And a couple more Marines are going to join the original army that rolled out. And this is the majority of Deribou's army other than one Cyclone and the Liberator, which I think the Liberator is about to join. Liberator's in the main, actually, as the third Cyclone meets up with the others. Ashen, not... I think he did recognize the Liberator, maybe. I don't know. This Stalker walked over here. It appeared to be setting up for something. Losing a couple probes in the main. It appears we lost one Cyclone and all the Marines in the top of the map. Probes get pulled. Stalker is here to finish off the Liberator. Liberator is going to lose its life after a 5th probe kill. Decent. This Cyclone literally on 1 life. So, as fortunate as it can get to make it out. And Deribou's got the early worker lead, although Ashen on his third Nexus, so he's going to be able to start cranking them out a little bit faster with the workers. And we'll see if Deribou's thinking a third command center anytime soon. It'll either be that or 2 more racks or two more E-bays or something along that line, I think. Or 1 more E-base, sorry, he's already got the 1. Meanwhile, we're getting the Robo Bay. So, possibly some more Disruptors, possibly some Colossi. Another Gateway gets built as well. Everything in production currently for Deribou. Depots, turrets, mines, SCVs, Marauders, Marines, upgrades. So, he's gearing up as he loads up a medevac full of units. That's going to be 2 medevacs full of units. It will most likely get seen by Ashen if he goes straight out of the front of his base. Ashen appears to be rolling out with a small group of Stalkers, a couple of Zealots as well with them. Medevacs loaded up, still hanging out. And the Observer is going to fall as Deribou takes his third base. And the rollout is happening. A couple Cyclones. Couple Marauders all walking across. It looks like this is going to be a little multi-prong attack. Cyclones and Marauders up top with the Marines Widowmine drop on the bottom in the main. So Deribou, he's got his first group here a little early, and they're going to give themselves away by attacking the probe. Stalkers blink on the Cyclones. 2 Cyclones fall immediately, and Deribou is going to run away with the stem Marauders from the Zealots. And they are going to get away. Although Ashen, he did see with his Observer to the right of his main, I'm pretty sure that this drop was happening. Couple Stalkers fall. Zealot's going to lose as well. And both Stalkers die right there to the Widowmine. Nice hit from the Widowmine. Although Deribou going straight for the pylon, going to depower all the gateways. I would like to see him go for some workers at this point. Stems into the workers. He knows exactly what he's doing. Charge lots are here. We can get a pickup before any more Stalkers arrive, though. Nice. Perfect. And the Widowmine's here. 1 more needs to be set off. Let's see what it gets done. Only 1 Zealot. Lucky for Ashen. His units took the other path. All in all, 6 worker lead for Deribou. 22 in the army supply. And both players sitting on 3 bases. Upgrade advantage also leaning towards Deribou with his +1. Not seeing that from Ashen, although he's throwing down the double forge. So we know that those Upgrades will be coming soon, is my guess. We've got the Ghost Academy, by the way, from Deribou. He's also queuing up his first Ghost. So, EMP time on all these poor Protoss shields. Proxy pylons getting put for scouting purposes, I'm sure. Just little map vision on when stuff crosses. As Ashen sets up over here, he's also rolling out with a small group on the north side. Deribou loads up another medevac, got 4 mines in it. And we've got the bio medevac dropping its unit. It's going to stay at home for defense. Ashen did catch up in the workers, and he's catching up in the army. Deribou, the on is 2-2, while Ashen just starting is 1-1. So those are going to be pretty important for the whole rest of this game. Deribou also doing a 2-mine drop on the north side of the map, rolling out with his units. So let's see what's going on with this mine drop in the main of Ashen. 7 workers here, and they are not pulled. Meanwhile, we got the first units of Deribou running back to his base, it seems. 4 probes lost with a couple mine attacks here, and Deribou's just gonna very ballsy walk his fucking Widow mine right down to the mineral line of Ashen again. Gets a 5th probe killed, and this mine is going to go off again shortly. Repositions himself in front of the gas as the armies meet in the middle of the map. There is enough bio DPS here to not worry about zealots getting in. That Widow mine looks like it got about 4 kills on that last hit. 9 SCVs fall from the Widow mine drops. Army supply is favoring Ashen currently. He's got the disruptors as well, which are super strong against the bio. Stems left and right from Deribou. Even army supply. Although it appears that Ashen has held off this bio attack. A couple more Vikings arrive. Vikings really not going to be useful for much right now. He's producing a Liberator as well, along with the Ghosts. So there was a couple Ghosts in that battle there. We didn't really see the EMPs. I don't think Deribou scans this base just to keep track of his opponent's macro status. These Ghosts are going to be cloaked in about 12 seconds. That'll be huge for him. And we're getting the Planetary at the 4th. Meanwhile, Widow mine placed at Ashen's 5th base. And probably get a little probe snipe if one probe decides to walk down there and try and take a base. Ashen split some stalkers up. Gonna do some scouting with them, I suppose, and make sure nothing's coming across before he rolls out with his Archon, Zealot, Stalker, Disruptor, Colossus, Deathball. Super even game. Both players been dead even in supply basically the whole time. We are getting the Liberator range and the 3-3 from Deribou. We're getting +2 attack, and the shields from Ashen. Another Colossus in production as well, throwing down some shield batteries at the 3rd for Ashen. One more Robo facility as well. Deribou scanning around, seeing what he's up against. Deribou seems pretty content right now just to take this base, keep doing what he's doing, making 4 Liberators. He's going to get some nice map control with those bad boys. We got a little bio group with a medevac over here clearing proxy pylons. And Ashen needs to be careful. Okay, he is producing pylons still. He needs to be careful. If he loses those pylons, he will get himself supply blocked, actually. So, but he is aware. A couple Zealots and a Stalker over here to pick on these Marines and Marauder. Good pickup by Deribou. Saves his units. Liberator range finishing in 10 seconds for Deribou. And Ashen will be the first to max out in this game, it appears. And as I say that, Deribou takes the supply lead, 194 to 193. Ashen sends one zealot over here, keeping tracks of everything. And these Marines over here to clear out this stalker that was in its sensor tower range. Ashen appears to be approaching the same direction though with his main army. I can hear some Liberators sieging up near Deribou's 4th base within range of the sensor and turret towers. We've got some workers being killed somewhere. Here we go. One zealot marches in. 5 workers down to this one zealot. Still counting. There we go. 6, almost a 7th. And we got a bunch more zealots, about a group of 20 of them or so, here to take out the turret and the sensor tower. However, they opt to run right through. Not going to get anything done with that group of zealots. Main army, however, pushes into the 4th of Deribou. The Liberators, the sensor tower, the missile turret all fall. Ashen, very generous, leaving 1 Liberator and the planetary. Liberators here to siege up more. And that was not beautiful for our Protoss friend. He lost a lot of army. Didn't really get too much done. Most of that damage was caused by the zealots on the other side of the map. And this Widow Mine is going to go off. Doesn't get much done though. Lucky for Ashen, there were some Archons there to tank the hit. Deribou set to take his forward base. This will be his 6th base right here on the forward low ground. Gonna snag his gases immediately as well. Roll out with Liberators, Ghost, Marauder, Viking, couple Marines, couple medevacs. And he's heading back because Ashen's got another zealot run by. Deribou not really needing to pull his whole army back. He could just repair this planetary and the zealots would die. Or you can just not repair the planetary and the zealots still die. As he is realizing that is not worth his time. Zealots are dead, command center repaired, army back on the rollout. Stims and Liberators taking shots at Colossus, although a bunch of Libs just donated essentially right there. They got a little too ahead of the rest of their buddies. Deribou setting up to clear any excavation plans that Ashen had going on. The balls hit though. Doesn't hit the bio the first 2 rolls. 3rd roll got a huge hit right there in the middle. Zealots with the flank. They do get cleaned up. Oh my lord. EMPs left and right. Protoss unit just got deleted. Protoss army just got deleted right there. As Deribou is sieged up with a couple Liberators. It's about 4 of them. Yeah, right in front of Ashen's face. Ashen wondering what he can do to stop this attack right now. He is lowering the army supply significantly. He's thinking Storm is the answer. Also, we're getting the Dark Shrine upgrading, so DTs maybe could be something to help him get back in this game sneakily. More Zealots donating their lives, however, as Ashen tries to do the sneak attack. The nuke goes off. How do we not even get the nuke message? That was bullshit. Anyways, yeah, nuke the base. 3 probes died. Liberator's still here, but unsieged up. They could fall to the Archons pretty easily. Deribou probably likes what he's seeing with that scan and wants to push, but the balls keep him back for another moment. Liberator siege up. He's going to stem forward. Archons falling. Good hit there from the balls. Deribou sieging up to the left now. Attempting to siege up to the left with these Liberators, but doesn't get them in place until just now. A couple more Marauders. Ghost still standing. 3 brave Marines are the only Marines here. We got a tank arriving in this push, so that is going to give Deribou some good range advantage. There is a nexus to the south of what he just destroyed. Deribou would love to go destroy that. He is going to know about this nexus, I think, actually, with the way Ashen's got all these units coming from over there. So leaves the Liberators sieged up behind him. There he goes, unsieges. Tank is still here, rolling forward. double the army supply, plus for Deribou currently losing the losing workers left and right for Ashen as well. This will be a Terran W in my opinion. We've got factories in the middle of the map for some reason, producing stuff hopefully with them, because why else are we putting factories in the middle of the map if we're not going to use them? So, all in all, 30 worker advantage for Deribou, about 60 army supply as well. Disruptor Ball is doing everything he can for zoning out the Terran army. Both players on 3-3, ship weapons level 2 for Deribou. Yeah, no factory unit upgrade for Deribou. Interesting. DT's slicing away. Only got 2 workers, it appears. It's hard to do much with all the detection that Deribou has around. He's got some idle SCVs. He's scanning even though there's a turret right here. Must have been just out of the range of the turret, I suppose. So 10 SCVs do fall. You'll take that if you're, and I don't know what these guys are doing. Maybe Deribou donating a couple SCVs out in the middle of the map. Wants to cut his worker count down to 70 as opposed to 80. But this single stalker is going to get a couple more workers. Prevent a command center from being built. Deribou just sends another worker right back over there. Sends more workers over here. DTs are here. DTs are going to have a time. Meanwhile, the army of Deribou, actually this is not the army of Deribou, this is Ashen picking off the proxy factory. Here is the army of Deribou walking over to handle these DTs. I mean, these DTs did so much work. I feel like that was unnecessary amount of damage taken from the DTs. 13 worker lead for Deribou, but the army supply, massive. Incomparable. 1 disruptor being produced for Ashen. Gotta admire him for trying still. Liberators are about to siege up all of these units and tell them that you cannot be here. One ghost and a marauder die with that hit of the balls. GG is called. Alright, tied up after last game. Here is Deribou with the red Terran units, sticking with the same colors. Also sticking with the same colors throughout the series. Lulu Fufan, aka Ashen. So very good game last round, super even. Deribou eventually got ahead, killing a shit ton of workers with a nice Ghost Bio Liberator onslaught. Both players playing pretty macro heavy. Deribou did one of those little rollouts around 3-4 minutes again last game with some Marines and some units. First game it was a tank and Marines. Last game it was 2 Cyclones and Marines. We'll see what he does this game. Usually not seeing too many people do those small pushes like that. As I committed Ashen in game 1. He's a good guy, not attacking your barracks builder. He's got 1 gas, 1 gate at home. He's going to take his core next, and he's going to go Nexus first this time. Maybe he realizes he forgot his core. What's this probe up to? He's going to place a core and then his Nexus. That's what he's been doing the whole series. There it is. Okay. Maybe just got a step ahead of himself right there. We're going Marine first for Deribou. Last game was Reactor first and then a Marine Reaper combo. This probe is going to walk itself out of the base. Yes, it is. Okay, so Marine not going to have a target. Oh, but Ashen pulls it back in, and that will be a dead probe. We're getting factories. We're getting orbitals finishing up for Deribou. Command centers. Cyber cores finishing up, and Nexus halfway done for Ashen, chroning out a stalker. He's got 5 on this gas. Must have been an over rally. Took him a second to figure it out, but he got it. No problem. bunker at the front of the natural for Deribou. Don't think we've seen that this series. Interesting. He also didn't scout, so must be doing a safer build this game of some sort, potentially. We got the reactor, we got our second racks, we got our second gas, okay. And we're also building a tech lab on the factory. It leads me to think he's going to do cyclones again. Could be tanks though, for sure. It's really 50-50. Twilight early again from Ashen, maybe a little earlier than the other games. Command center ready to be turned into an orbital. There it goes. Stalker is waiting outside the front of Deribou's base. Could actually come in right now and be a little annoying, get a worker or two. Ashen decides to walk over here for the third. He's got his robo facility and another gate at the bottom of his natural. 6 worker lead currently for Ashen, and the Cyclone is gonna roll out, do a little scouting, I guess, or maybe see if he can pick off some stalkers or something. A couple Marines didn't get the memo about the nice warm bunker at the front of the base that they should be inside. Davis is going to roll this Cyclone into the base. Stalker's here. And we're chronoing out an observer. We get the Stalker warp end, and Deribou rolls out after a little look around, and 3 probes fall to a Cyclone. Deribou got all his units rallied to the ramp right here. I'd love to see him siege up his tank in a useful position and put the Marines in his bunker. But Deribou definitely knows more of what he is doing than I, so can't really ask too much of him. Starport, barracks, another 3-1-1 setup, getting his first eBay as well. Third base goes down for Ashen. Probably see some shield batteries placed over that way in a little bit. And he's going to have Blink finishing shortly as well. He's got his observer. Where is it? He's got 2 observers actually, one in the main base already. So he's going to be pretty easily set up to blink up on this ledge if he wants to. He's got 6 stalkers in production to go with, or he's got 6 stalkers. So yeah, and here they are walking across the map. And we know what he's going to try and do. He's going to walk right over here to this little ledge, blink on up. Marines are in their nice little warm bunker. Tank is sieged on the low ground. There is a massive bio unit up here up top though. Oh, Deribou. And Ashen right now has to be wondering what the fuck. Good blink micro, pulled back the injured one immediately. But now we need an observer in the base again if we're going to blink up top. So that's super unfortunate for Ashen. Meanwhile, we've got those shield batteries dropping, we've got Colossus being queued up, and thermal lancing upgrades for them. Ashen has control of the left tower, but not interested in the right one apparently. He will not be able to walk in the front of the base with just these stalkers because the tank, the barracks actually, or the bunker actually getting salvaged. So that'll make things a little easier for walking into the front of the base if he does so decide with these 6 stalkers. Don't think he will though. He could honestly blink right on top of that tank though if he was aware of the setup inside. Upgrades finishing all around, +1 attack, charge, and combat shield. +1 attack being for our Terran player. No forges from Ashen. He doesn't seem to be too worried about his upgrades early in this matchup. So we got the Marine drops the stem. The Zealots are here. Colossus here as well. Pick up. And he's going to go to the main. The Colossus walks out of the base. There's another group of Deribou's army posting up outside the third. Need to see that tank siege up ASAP. Meanwhile, 22 probes, all of them have fallen in the main of Ashen. This bio army and tank the tank got picked up actually, but the bio army deleted. Speaking of deleted, there are no more probes in the main of Ashen. All the gateways just got disabled as well in the core, and the Marauders just float over to the back right of the natural. Everyone knows how frustrating this can be when it is happening to you, and that attack is ended. Deribou with a 17 worker, 15 army lead. Landing his third base. Ashen does have his third base, so he can get these workers back. We're going to see an upgrade to an orbital any second here. There we goes. Also getting the armory, so the mines in this medevac will soon become invisible. +1 shields finishing for Deribou, couple disruptors, more probes, and a second replacement Twilight because the original Twilight got deleted. So that's where we are for Ashen, 30 supply deficit. These mines are going to get picked off. Yep, easy for the Stalkers. Very unfortunate for Deribou, 4 mines and a medevac fall for literally nothing. So that'll help Ashen get a little more back in it. A lot of disruptors, couple Colossi, couple Stalkers. He's going to take this 4th base over here on the left side. We know he's going to set it up with some shield batteries soon as well. Takes the gases at his 3rd base. Surprised he didn't have those before now. Maybe he would have if not for the assault on his main. Need 1 more worker in your gas over here, Deribou. You got 1 over on the supply line. It's okay though, not a big deal. Marauders taking the watchtower. And Ashen's going to come over here and check it out. Got a bunch of Colossus, Stalkers, and a Disruptor. There is nothing to see, however. A couple of Zealots. Going to poke on the right side of the map, see of any stuff to find out about. They most likely will die to this mine, though, if they walk up together. And Deribou just trying to get the map vision. Getting his Stargate upgrades as well. Zealot walked away from the SCV it could have killed and meets its demise. Deribou taking the fancy gas. That purple Vespene so much more concentrated than the green Vespene. So Ashen's stacking up some minerals here. Probably just waiting to build up his army when he gets a little more gas to invest in the heavier units. But opts for some Stalkers, probes, and forges. Yeah, the 10-11 minute forges. I don't know about that one. I hope he's just forgetting about those. And that is not the game plan. These are gonna die to Stalkers once again. Okay, not as bad as it could have been. Deribou was on it pretty quickly. He is gonna lose them actually in the end. They get a lot of Stalker damage done, however, these couple Marauders. They are going to walk away with their life. Deribou has his main army on the left side of the map. Sorry, I missed that. Vikings versus Colossus, everyone's favorite TVP thing to watch. And Deribou is pushing him back. They are at even supply all around pretty much at this point. So good job to Ashen working himself back in the game. Must have been a bad trade over here for Deribou overall. He's got some ghosts in the army, but not quite what you need when you're fighting a bunch of Stalkers, Disruptors, Colossus. He's got 4 ghosts, so he's got a couple, but needs a couple more. +3 starting up. Meanwhile, only the level 1 shields, level 1 attacks for Ashen. Stargate as well joins the production crew. And gas is going to get shut down, maybe 2 actually. Yep, 2 workers have fallen from that. We got a missile turret as well on this side of the map for a little detection. Zealots walking into their death, literally not even going to get a single slice off on the Terran army. So that was bad. Ashen over here wondering what just happened to all his zealots. Unless that was a donation to make Templar and more Storm. Or so that they can Storm, I mean. Because he just queued that up as well. I don't think it was a donation though, because you don't donate units when you're not maxed, usually. Deribou taking that army advantage. He's up to 23 all of a sudden when they were both around that 70 mark recently. Ashen opting to throw down some more. Oh, he's got the fleet beacon and more robo facilities. 2 more got thrown up as well, so he's going to try and throw out these big boy units. What are we going to see? Carriers. A bunch of Tempest maybe. Tempest can be super annoying for Terran players. Deribou's starting to work on his map control. Sensor towers, missile turrets at the front of his base. Zealot's doing a run by on this base that Deribou's trying to get up. Some Marines over here to handle them. All in all, nothing really happened over here. Those pesky Zealots at least detracted a little attention from Deribou for a moment, if nothing else. But still, 30 army difference lead. It does appear that, okay, so Tempest is the first unit out of the Stargate. I think I was right about Ashen just kind of saving up his minerals, trying to get some gas. He does need to fill those 3 on gas, little does he know. And yeah, he's going to try and opt for just making more expensive units. He's got 3 disruptors in production, getting the +2 attack and the level and the shields as well. Deribou scans what's in front of him now that he's got a maxed out army supply. Splits his groups into 2. Just a smaller bio unit on the right. He's got his main army with the Liberators, the Vikings, and all the Marauders to the left. Good scan from Deribou. Knows exactly where his opponent is. Sieges up the entrance points, and yeah, a lot of kills right there. Meanwhile, Zealots trying to corner a bunch of Marines. That doesn't work. Good job by Deribou. Storms going in on the Vikings. The Vikings are all going to fall because they didn't move away from the storms at all, and that severely hurts Deribou's army supply. We're losing probes, however, at this base. We lost the whole nexus. We get the recall on the remaining probes. Good job by Ashen there. Ashen appears to be setting up for the little wraparound. Disruptor ball. Great hit on the disruptor. That was crazy. Another good one, too. And Ashen has just deleted the Terran army. There is not a single red unit over here other than the tank and Widowmine sieged up. Holy cow. That was a crazy disruptor hit. Good job by Ashen walking around. And that got him exactly what he wanted. He's checking for a base over here, although he knows there's not one because he already has Zealot spotters. Missile turrets aiming at the poor Colossus. One Colossus falls. We've got a disruptor ball right out of range of the tank. The Tempests are here, however, and that is how you start creating more space from a Terran player. We've got a pretty heavy Zealot assault, but Deribou on the repairs this time. Just going to let the planetary do its job. Yeah. Ashen, you would have loved to have been attacking SCVs as opposed to the planetary during that time. Tanks are sieged up. We got a couple Thors as well. A line of turrets. This is toxic, boys. The Tempest can outrange the turrets, however, so that's really good for them. Vikings are here to handle the Tempest, and that is not good for them. Looks like a good disruptor hit as well. All in all, we're losing some workers. These 2 Zealots responsible for a lot right here. 16 workers died right there, so that was nice. Gives Lulu the worker and army advantage after that. So I think Deribou's still trying to recover from those the storms on his Vikings. He really lost a lot right there. He's up to 7 of them. 1 Thor, 1 tank, 17 Marines. And now the ghosts come out. He's got 8 ghosts hitting the field to join the other 4 that he had earlier. We're getting the Widow Mine upgrade for burrowing faster. We're getting the plating upgrade for factory and starport units. We're upgrading the factory attack as well for Deribou. Dark Shrine and carriers, interceptors, oracles from Lulu Fufan. Lulu Fufan's got the one brave zealot over here that could be annoying, but it's not going to get the total job done. Oh, the zealot! The ghost over here just sniping away at units, and it's going to die to probably not a good use of resources there from Deribou. We got a bunch more tanks joining the party, however. Tanks, Ghost, Vikings seem to be the army construction that Deribou is going for. Couple turrets going to fall on the right side of the map, but the planetary is just going to once again. We've seen this dance a few times throughout this game. And here we go once again. He would love. There we go. Good job, Ashen. Make sure that they are actually getting the targets that matter. And over here was another zealot, I think, maybe a DT. Anyways, carriers being produced. Still getting attacked over here, and now Deribou going to lead a little counterattack on this base. Lulu Fufan with a much bigger army attacking this base of Deribou. The map pretty evenly split in half right now. You got, but the Dark Templar are here to destroy the bio. No scan going down. Wonder what Deribou's probably chasing away these guys instead right now. And that is cleaned up by all these Templar. This fight, however, they are going to have to walk back into the Liberator range. The Thor's pretty much throwing itself away right there. The Liberators are going to fall. And Ashen has developed a nice lead for himself throughout this game. Charges up into the tank. The other tanks are unsieged except for one of them. Vikings land. Disruptors are blown up. And we're back where we started pretty much. Just 5-worker lead for Ashen. 2-worker lead for Deribou. Oh, we're nuking the carriers. That would have been beautiful if those carriers would have stayed around. Lord have mercy. If those carriers would have stayed. We can only hope that we see a nuke of that epic proportions in this series. The Ghost has lost his cloak, however, and it will lose its life, I think. It's fast enough to get away. Good job. Shadow Stride coming for the DTs of Ashen, and good job by him not letting these turrets go up. 2 workers fall. He will get the turret. Maybe some DTs tried to walk in over here. Not sure what that scan was about. Yep, we're going to get a 3rd worker. Deribou expanding to the left as well. So yeah, both guys on the same amount of bases. One open base on each side of the map. These guys have given us some really good games today so far. And Ashen says, maybe placing stuff in front of all my bases that can shoot is not a bad idea. And the carrier's not even sending out their interceptors to fight the Liberators because they know what'll happen. Vikings here doing a really good job. Deribou pushing forward, unsieging tanks. Or just with unsieged tanks, I should say. Playing like an absolute animal right here. And he has doubled the army supply. I think this is going to be the end for our Protoss player because he is losing a lot of expensive units. Has a little bank, but it is hard to, you need a lot of bank to make carriers, disruptors, Colossus again. I don't know. Yeah, pretty sure Deribou has wrestled away the lead that Ashen had. Zealots are here to try and slow down this massive Terran army. 100 supply difference, GG is called. Alright, we got Deribou, top left of the scoreboard, or top of the scoreboard, top left of the map. And Ashen trying to take it to game 5. He is in the bottom right. Let's see, we've had some great macro games. I wouldn't want anything else unless it means that Ashen does something super cheesy and then we get a great game 5 that's macroed out. We would all love a game 5 though. These guys have given us a good series. Deribou gonna play the same way, I think, mostly. Only thing he's really done differently is he made tanks. He made cyclones first, the second game, and did the little rollout, and he did a bunker last game. So not major differences at all. He does a little 3-1-1 build, and that's exactly what I expect to see again. Gas gateway at home for Ashen. Is he gonna go Nexus? Or is he gonna do what he did last time and just rally the probe down, walk it back up, build a core? I'd rather see that probe get 5 minerals or gas or something. Okay, he put it on the gas, so yeah, I'd like to see that probe do a little work before, instead of walking down here getting a little scenic view of the base. But that's very small, very minute. Reaper first. So that's been the other small thing that Deribou has opted to change throughout this series. And he's going to send it right for the probe that is just sitting here. He's going to attack the command center builder. Ashen pulling out the dirty tricks. I've commended him on being a nice guy, leaving the hard-working SCVs for the Terran race alone. But even Ashen cannot help himself. He has turned evil down in the score. You got to start pulling stuff out like that. Show your true colors and attack the SCVs. So chronoing out a stalker over here for Ashen. He's got a second gas set up as well. Gonna immediately fill it up. Nicely done. Reactor and bunkers for Deribou. Also the factory back here. We're gonna see a second gas any second, I imagine. Unless he is gonna do, there it goes. I'm just saying, unless he does something totally different. Well, we got the Twilight at the same time as last game. Hopefully it doesn't get picked off by Deribou, is what Ashen's thinking. Like last time. And Reaper's down here picking on some probes, although the Stalker will be able to finish it off. It's double surrounded by Stalkers. Good job by Deribou to pull back, get the second probe instead of only the one. He immediately transfers his command center into an orbital. Ashen rolling across with 2 Stalkers. This can be really annoying for Terran players. These early Stalkers can pick on your Marines and SCVs really badly. But Deribou will have a full bunker, almost. Ashen's, gonna shoot at the bunker. Hellion's here. Hellion, move commanded to go right by the Stalkers. And it's gonna get away with 25 life. Ashen not sure what he wants to do with the Stalkers. Meanwhile, he's got a robo facility at home, dropping 3 gates as well in the fucking wall. And a pylon. He full walled. So this Hellion is not getting into his base. He's making charge. We're getting cloak for our Banshees for Ashen. Okay, sorry for Deribou, I meant. Ashen did cancel the pylon that was part of the wall so Stalkers could walk in, but immediately places it back out there. And the Hellion's content just posted up at the top of the 3rd. Bunch of Marines being produced for Deribou. He's got 7 on the field, a couple more joining him, and there's that first cloaked Banshee. We're going to see a second. So I assume he rolls out with both of those, but he is actually going to roll out with the first, it appears. Warp Prism loaded up. We've got 4 Zealots inside of it. Stalker on patrol. 2 Stalkers on patrol, so good job by Ashen. This Banshee will not make it into the base undetected. Second Banshee gonna finish up anytime. The cloak just finished. Swap it over to build a reactor off of the factory. This is a I'm not sure if Deribou thinks he's playing TVZ maybe, but this is normally what you do in TVZ. Banshee's back home, taking out Zealots. Good use of that. Meanwhile, Cloak Banshee over here, working on some probes. Going to be able to take out a Stalker or two as well if the Stalker so pleases to stand next to it. Ashen opts to leave his probes here and just start chronoing out some more. No observer on the field. What are we going to do about this? Just going to let it happen? There's the observer queued up finally. We do have a shield battery placed. But Deribou, this is an evil Banshee. We do have more Zealots at the base of Deribou, but it doesn't look like any SCVs lost their lives. Speaking of lives lost, it appears our Banshee hero is gone now that the observer came out. Yep, the Stalker is the responsible. One of them is responsible. They both have one kill. One of them killed the Reaper, one of them killed the Banshee. Starport floats over to the reactor from the factory, and factory gonna build a tech lab of its own. So +1 is actually gonna finish significantly before STEM in this Deribou build. Ashen appears to be set up to drop some more Zealots. Banshees are still here though, and Ashen maybe got cold feet, doesn't want to lose his 4 Zealots. Needs to be careful though, because Deribou most likely saw, well, we didn't really get a reaction from Deribou, so maybe he didn't see it, but I would think that he would have seen that. Needs to get the workers back up at the main. 5 out of 16, 1 out of 3 on the gas. Observer is here. A little peek around of what's going on in the base. We got the Hellion rolling back around, and the observer is going to see this drop get loaded up. Observer moving out of where it was. Warp Prism moving a little further away as well. And Deribou did get himself in a little supply block there. Had to drop a depot. Start building another one. But Ashen getting a Templar Archives. And he's also getting Blink. Bunch of Zealots coming. He's got his charge, obviously, so 2 Banshees, 2 Medevacs, 16 Marines. Navigate to the south side of the map. Gonna go for the main of Ashen. Tank, 2 more Medevacs, couple little group of Marines at home for Deribou, as well as an unburied Widowmine. These other Marines gonna go across the map, do a little scouting, I suppose. Just get vision on what's going on. And here we go. We are in the main of Ashen. He does the carpet bomb drop. Beautiful. And here we are destroying probes once again. 16, 17, 18 fall. The recall to the Nexus. All the charge outs are here. Going to slice down the Marines pretty quickly. But the Cloaked Banshees, there is no answer for, because we don't have an observer. Oh, we do have an observer, but it is going the wrong way. Here it goes, headed back. And there was an observer over here actually as well. So 15 worker lead for Deribou and army supply lead as well. Combat shields finishing up for him. He's getting concussive, getting his liberators, getting his ghost academy. So we know where this is all about to go. The same place the last game did, I'm pretty sure. These Banshees have been epic for Deribou. 11 and 5 kills. As I say that, of course, they are going to meet their fate to the Archon. Zealots charging in, going after the Marines. They would like to go after the tank instead, maybe. And that assault is shut down. Deribou scans the third base of Ashen. Ashen chronoing out his probes to his heart's content. Still a little more chrono to use. no Vikings from Deribou this game. I think obviously I'm going to make those when we see the Colossus popping out. This is a 2-mine drop. The deadly 2 Widow Mine drop. Do a lot of damage with those 2 Widow Mines. And it is sensor tower time at the front of the third base now that we got some units established over here. I would love to see Deribou like siege up these units instead of letting them just sit there. But once again, he is a lot better than me. He knows exactly what he's doing. Much more. Hero Marine once again trying to roll in. Take it back to game 2 when we had just that 1 scouting Marine go in and got 5 kills. This is a medevac and 2 Marines for free. Well, one mine gets down, it's going to get a hit off. Oh, it dies right before the hit. 2 ghosts being produced. And a Colossus, another robo facility for Ashen. Deribou is gathering his army together, scanning his own base, gets the observer out of there. Good job. Just 2 zealots across the map for Ashen, checking on potentially Deribou rolling out. Although they are not in the right spot to see this roll out from Deribou. Here we go. He catches some of the Terran units by themselves. Not enough Protoss here, though. And I think that's going to be the common theme for the rest of this game. I don't think there is enough Protoss to handle this much Terran. Both players filling out each other, just wanting to see which way they should go. Tanks sieged up, Liberators as well. Widow Mines aren't burrowed. There they go. But it doesn't really matter. There was just so much Terran, like we were saying. More Liberators, more Bio Ghost Marines joined the party. Deribou keeping track of the Colossus and units down here. They're going to have a really hard time even making it up from the low ground, honestly, though. The Viking pushing away the Colossus. Colossus get recalled to the front of the natural. Only one of them, actually both of them did make it. Stem from Deribou. He's got his siege units still back here. He could move them forward. Another stem GG called. Great series.